Hi, Miss Turdick here, and I've got a new video for you. The focus of today's video is going to be a warm-up routine that you can do before any activity that you see listed on your calendar that says Phys-Ed. If you're somebody who normally has Phys-Ed with me, you'll remember this routine from the school. If you're somebody who doesn't have me for Phys-Ed, some of the things may be new, but I'm confident that you'll catch on pretty quickly. Before we get started, you want to make sure that you're wearing comfortable clothes that you can move in easily. You also want to make sure that you've got a trusted adult who's available to supervise you while you are doing the routine. If you are doing the routine inside like I am, you want to make sure that you ensure your space is safe. So you'll notice I've done a few things so that my area is suitable for me to be working in. I've rolled up my carpet, I've pushed the furniture to the side. My coffee table is actually now in my kitchen. If you're somebody who has a yoga mat, you're welcome to do your routine on a yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's no problem at all. Just make sure that you have a good grip of the floor if you're somebody who's working on a hardwood or tile floor, or if you're working on a carpet, make sure that the space is flat enough that you're not going to lose your balance. You also want to make sure that your area is free from objects that may be on the floor, such as toys. If you're working on this routine outside, you want to do a check of the grass, make sure that there's nothing like rocks, stones, garbage, dog poo that could get in your way. You also want to make sure that you're doing this in an area that's away from moving vehicles. So let's get started and stand in a comfortable position with your feet hip width apart. We're going to work from the head down. So let's begin with our neck. So it's very important that we move our neck slowly so that we don't injure our necks. So let's begin by looking to the right slowly and look to the left slowly. Look back to the right slowly. Look to the left slowly. Come back to center, look down at your toes and look center. Look down at your toes and look center. Look up at the ceiling and return your gaze to center. Look up at the ceiling and return your gaze to center. Rotate your shoulders forward. And you can rotate your shoulders backward. Now we can take our right arm and stretch it across our body. When you're doing this stretch for your shoulder or your deltoid muscle, you want to make sure that your shoulder isn't scrunching up into your ear. You can also apply a little bit of pressure on your arm in between your elbow and your wrist. This will help you to feel the stretch a little more. Okay, let's switch sides onto the left side. So again, making sure that my shoulder's not scrunching up into my ear. And I'm applying a little bit of pressure with my right hand between my wrist and my elbow. Now from here, we're going to move into a stretch for our upper arm or triceps. So what I like to say to our younger students is make a pretzel shape with your arms. So I'll just turn around and show you what that pretzel shape looks like. Okay, now switch to the left. And again, you can focus your eyes upwards. That may help you feel the stretch a little more. Okay, and coming back. Now we're going to focus on stretching out our obliques, which are the muscles at the sides of our body. So feet hip width apart in a number 11. You can keep your hands on your waist like so, or just bring your hands to your sides like I'm doing now. And we're just going to twist slowly from right to left. Feeling that twist in our sides, stretching out our side muscles. One more each side. Coming back to center. Okay, feet are still in our number 11, hip width apart, slight bend to our knees. We're going to come into a forward fold. Just let your head and neck hang. From there, we're going to stretch out the backs of our legs. So if it's comfortable for you, you can choose to touch your knees. Maybe you want to touch your ankles. Maybe you want to touch your toes, or if you're somebody who happens to be a little more flexible, you may want to touch the floor. So you'll feel a stretch in the backs of your legs. And this is very important, especially if you're doing an activity involving running or jumping, making sure that you stretch your legs really well. Okay, slowly rise to stand. We're going to come into a high runner's lunge. So for this, we're going to put our right foot forward, left foot back. Now you're welcome to keep both hands on your right knee, making sure that your knee is lined up to your heel. You don't want your knee going past your toes because you could injure your knee that way. If you'd like, you can bring your arms back for another tricep or upper arm stretch. From here, windmill your arms to the floor, lower your back leg. You're going to put your right hand on your right knee and bring your left arm up and over, coming into a stretch for our hips and our sides. So hip flexor and obliques. Plant your hands on the floor, building some strength in our core, coming into plank. For plank, there's a couple of options. So the options I'm going to share with you today are a plank from your knees. So if you're somebody who's just new to this, okay, this will help you to build core strength in this position. If you're finding this too easy, you may want to pop up on your toes so that your knees are lifting off the floor a couple centimeters. If that gets tiring, you can lower down and try again. If you're finding that too easy, you can come into a regular high plank. If you experience pain in your wrists or your shoulders doing this, you can come down into a forearm plank like so. You may want to hold this for anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute. I'm going to return to a high plank. From here, a couple options. You can either lower your knees and rise to stand, or you can walk your hands to your feet and come to stand. Now what we do on the one side, we have to do on the other. So this time, left foot forward, right foot back, high runner's lunge. And again, you may wish to keep your hands on that left knee or bring your arms back for a tricep stretch. You want to make sure that you take the bend out of your back knee. You may notice how my knee is nice and straight. That way you're feeling the stretch in your upper leg or quadricep muscles. Windmill your arms to the floor, lower your back leg. Left hand on your left knee, right arm up and over, coming into our hip flexor and oblique stretch, or hip and side stretch. You can look up to test your balance. Okay, lowering your hands to the floor, coming into another set of plank. So again, a couple options, okay? Things that we like to do in the Phys-Ed class, okay? From your high plank, you can do toe taps. You may want to do anywhere from 10 to 30 toe taps. You can also do shoulder taps. So for shoulder taps, you want to position your feet a little wider, bring your hands a little closer, and do right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder. And you may want to do, again, anywhere from 10 to 30 of those. From here, I'm going to either lower my knees or walk my hands to my feet and rise to stand. Now we're coming into balancing. A lot of you really improved your balancing. So for those of you who are just new to Phys-Ed with me, this is something that you're gonna have to work on with time. So we're gonna position all of our weight into our left foot, picking up our right foot in our right hand. And what you can do to help with balance is focus your gaze on a fixed point. So I'm choosing to look at a spot on the floor. Make sure that that fixed point is fixed, not moving. It helps you with your balance. Something else you can try to help with balance is taking a couple fingers from your left hand and placing them behind your left ear. It's the eustachian tube in our ear that helps us with balance. If this is easy for you, you can try coming into a yoga dancer's pose. Try to hold that for a few seconds. From there, lower your foot and rise to stand. All the weight now into our right foot, picking up our left foot in our left hand. From here, choose to look at a spot that's not moving. You may want to try the 2 fingers from your right hand behind your right ear trick. Another secret, maybe putting your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Some people say that helps with balance too. Whatever works for you. Once you've got your balance, you can try the yoga dancer's pose. And again, use all your concentration. Lowering your foot slowly to the ground and coming back to stand. The next part of our routine is calf raises. So this will stretch out your calves, and those are the muscles behind the backs of your legs. So again, you might be used to doing anywhere from 10 to 15 of these. Okay, so we'll do 10 just for the sake of time. Coming high onto our toes, not letting our heels touch the ground. If balance is a challenge, you're welcome to reach for a counter, a couch, or anything else that you may feel is easy to hang on to. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lowering our heels. Now let's work on rotating our right ankle one way and rotating our right ankle the other way. Let's rotate our left ankle one way. And if you hear a bone crack, that's okay. My ankle just cracked. Rotate the other way. Okay, now we're going to come into jumping jacks to warm up our heart. So for phys ed, if you're in grades 1 to 3, you're probably used to doing about 15 of these. If you're somebody who's in the older grades, we've done as many as 20 or 25. So again, you work on what's best for you. For the sake of time, I'll do 15. So if you're on a yoga mat, you may want to position yourself so that you've got lots of space to move. Before you do begin, make sure that there's nothing you can smack your arms on. If you're doing the routine with a sibling or with a trusted adult, make sure that you're not going to bang into them either. Okay, so let's do 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, if it's a beautiful day for running, you are more than welcome to do a couple laps around your backyard. So normally in the gym, we'd be doing anywhere from 2 to 3 laps. Grade 1 and 2 students, you're more than welcome to do zigzag running. Just make sure that your space is safe. So that concludes our warm-up. Now I hope you enjoy today's phys ed activity. Take care and have fun.